Hey guys, it's Flip, and today I'm going to show you how to make a kid's book bin. This will help your kids organize their books and they can look through it easily and find the book they want. Let's get into it. Our kids like to see the front covers of the books. So when they go to pull a book out, this ends up happening. And sooner or later, it looks like this. Eventually, within a night or two, it ends up looking like this. This is actually a real shot of what my daughter's bedroom looked like before we had them clean it up for the video. So hopefully using these bins helps us avoid this problem. So I'm going to show you what we did. So my wife bought these wooden bins at Target, and you could get them from there, or you could find something similar on Amazon, or even make them yourself. But what we're going to do is we're going to wood glue these together, and then I'm going to make a wooden frame underneath for support that they're going to sit on. And then I bought some legs that we're going to attach to the bottom, and that should give them a good way to organize their books. Let's go ahead and get started. So you could wood clamp these together with a big wood clamp like this, but I'm just going to put some glue on top and then stack these together and then put some weight on top to hold it in place while it dries. So here I'm applying the wood glue, and I'm just trying to spread this out as evenly as I can and just get most of this top of the bin covered. Then I'm going to add the second bin to the top and just kind of wiggle that around to spread that glue out even more. Once it's even, I'm just going to put a piece of cardboard on top to keep it from getting dirty, and then just stack on some spare pieces of wood I had laying around to keep it in place. It says it takes 30 minutes to dry, but I'm going to let it sit a few hours just to be safe. Okay, so we let this set for several hours, and now the boxes are glued together, and now what we're going to do is put on our wooden frame. So what I did is I bought an 8-foot 2x2, and I cut this the size to make a frame underneath. So these pieces are about 10¼ inches, and the long pieces are about 24 7/8 inches. So then what I did is I took these long pieces and cut some notches in the middle by just taking a circular saw and setting the depth pretty shallow and running a few cuts through here, and then just taking a hammer and chisel and knocking those pieces out. And what that's going to allow me to do is set that on here flush, so the outer edges of these bins will sit in that notch. Then I took an orbital sander and just sanded up all these pieces to smooth them up, and then we can piece the rest of these on here like this. And then we're going to take some wood glue and set these in place. So here again, I'm just putting some wood glue on the underside of these boards. I'm doing the long one here, and then I'm doing the two short ones, and then just setting them in place, and then the last long one. And then again, I'm just going to take some scrap pieces of wood and set them on top to hold this in place. You can use wood clamps, but I'm just going to do it the easy way. Okay, so it's been a few hours and our wood glue is now dry, so I'm going to go ahead and flip this over, and we're going to get some screws in it. Now what I'm going to do is pre-drill a couple holes along each side here through the bottom of the bins into that 2x2. So that's what I'm doing here, just going around and making some pilot holes. Now I'm going to put in some little number 8 3/4 inch screws, and I'm going to use a washer when I do this because this wood is pretty thin and I don't want the screw head to tear through this wood. This washer will give it a little bit more holding power and make it a little more secure. Use a very light torque setting so you don't tear through the wood. So here's a shot with all the screws in it. Now we're going to flip this over and add on our legs. This will get it up off the floor so the kids can get into it easier. I got these legs off Amazon, and I'll put a link under the video in the description if you want to check them out. So here I'm just going around and setting a leg on every corner. Then I'm going to go back around and mark where each hole is, where I'll need to make a pilot hole for the screws. And here I am going back around putting those pilot holes in. Then I put the legs back on and drove in all the screws. So then the last thing we did is we took some rubber shelf liner, and it just happened to be the exact width that we needed, so we just cut it to the correct length and put that in the bottom of the bins, and that covered up our screws, and that will help keep the books from sliding around in the bins. And that's it, they're all done. You could paint these if you want, or you could leave them just like this. It was a fun little project, and so far my daughters seem to love it. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you try this project or find a way to improve it, let me know in the comments. I love hearing from people. And that's it. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.